What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Unemployed Cyclist. Today's a good day. It's Saturday, which means I get to go out for a long ride, and it's also new helmet day. So I picked up 2 new helmets this week after my crash on Monday where I broke my helmet. I have a new Aether MIPS, which I covered in my last video, and I also have the new Giro Manifest MIPS helmet. So we're going to be covering the Manifest today, my first ever mountain bike helmet, and I'm super excited to get it out of the box and check it out. So what I like about Giro is very simple packaging, easy to recycle, not a lot of waste. We have our helmet. We have down in the bottom, we have all of our warranty information. We're not going to need that in this video. And we have our helmet. Comes nicely packaged in a little bit of plastic. And there we go. So, wow, that's really nice. This is actually the first time that I've had one in my hands. I had to special order it because the pandemic is causing a lot of demand at my local bike shops. So, a little bit about the helmet. It is their top of the line mountain biking helmet. Retails for about $250 or $260. I chose white. The reason I chose white, I had a blue one on order and I changed my mind. I really struggle with heat in Southern California. I'm not a native and it gets really bloody hot out there, especially with mountain biking when you're not moving super fast and you can't rely on air to cool you. So I wanted something that would reflect as much heat as possible, so I went with a bright white helmet. I am a little concerned it might get grungy. We'll see how it looks in a year or so. But just like the Aether that I ride on the road, this is a MIPS-equipped helmet. And what's special about these 2 helmets is that they have a 2-piece design. So the purpose of this is when I crashed on Monday, this past week, you can see the video on my channel, I hit straight on. So all the force hit the front of my head. I did have a mild concussion, and that is a very linear force. So you hit hard, and it's going to transfer all of that energy back through your head. The way that helmets deal with that is the styrofoam crushes. If you ever break a helmet, you see cracks anywhere, throw it out. It's no longer safe. It no longer has the ability to absorb energy. Buy something new. Your head is expensive. These things are cheap. MIPS itself deals with rotational forces. So let's say you were to be thrown off your bike one way or the other. You catch a rut funny and it throws you off the bike. And you hit and you snap your head to one side or another. That rotational force, when you hit, the inner is going to separate from the outer and it's going to absorb that energy, reducing the severity of your concussion. Bontrager does something that they call wave cell technology. I've tried them on. I'm not a huge fan of them because they just look like they block a lot of airflow. I've tried on a whole lot of different helmets from Kask, from Oakley, from Bontrager, and from POC. And it seems like the Giros fit my head best. Other features of this helmet, of course, mountain biking helmet, you get your removable visor. This is something that's super different from the road helmet, is your locking mechanism. I'm gonna have to figure out how this actually works because this is my first ever mountain biking helmet. So yeah, let's see what this does. Oh, that's cool. So you slide it and it is magnetic, I just found out. So high strength, probably neodymium magnets. But yeah, you just put it there and it automatically pulls itself closed. Super cool. And then on the inside of the helmet, I'll show you the Aether so you can see the difference. It has a lot more padding. This is to absorb sweat and to keep your head comfortable while wearing it. The Aether, by contrast, you can see has very minimal in the way of inner padding. So you have the front here, you have a couple here, you have this one up here, And then the rest is open, and that is for airflow and for lightness. All right, so what you run into, this is my old helmet. You can still see some of the dirt that's on the front from my crash on Monday. What you run into when you sweat a lot in these helmets and you don't take care of them as you should, which is something I'm very guilty of. We'll see if you can actually see this, but see along this edge, how it's all starting to be eaten away? That's my sweat eating at that. I was unaware that sweat was super caustic, but yeah, if you don't have all that extra foam in there to absorb sweat and be able to take it out and wash it, your sweat will actually start to pit and degrade the helmet material, that styrofoam. I have lost helmets because of this. As it degrades, you can see it happens on both sides. It happens in the back. I've had it happen. I have a helmet that I have just as a spare in case something like this happens where I crash and I can't get a helmet for a few days, where this section up here starts getting eaten away by sweat. And that's dangerous because it damages the energy absorption capabilities of your helmet, makes them less safe to ride in. So I've actually retired helmets because of that sweat early. I like to wear helmets for between 2 and 3 years, and once you hit about the 3-year mark, that's about industry standard for environmental degradation. So even if you don't crash, the styrofoam will start to dry out. It loses some of its energy absorption capabilities, and it becomes more and more dangerous to wear. So at the 3-year mark, August 2023, if I haven't broken these helmets, I'll replace them again, even if they look just fine. Don't think if you have a helmet that's sitting in your garage that's 20 years old, it's still safe to use. So that is the helmets. Let's try this one on. Just like the Aether, first try, it's too tight. Here we go. So that's what it looks like. I'm probably gonna have to adjust the, see how this works. Yeah, there we go. Very cool. And then, there we go. So, just like the Aether, I'm going to loosen it up and take it off. So, that is the Giro Manifest. That is my new mountain biking helmet. Really excited to get out and try it. I'm gonna go out and ride today. First ride in this, and I'll report back on how it rides. So another really important feature of mountain biking helmets and my new Manifest is this back section here. So if we compare the Manifest to the road-specific Aether, you can see that there is a lot more material on the Manifest versus the Aether. And that is because mountain biking causes different types of accidents. And this is to support and to protect the base of your skull. So if I pop on the helmet, tighten it down how it's supposed to be tightened, you can see on the back of the helmet how low it comes on my skull. So it really comes down and covers the back of your head, versus the Aether, which you can see sits much higher up on the back of your head. And so having that extra bulk there, that extra material, is supposed to be a lot safer for mountain biking and mountain biking specific crashes. I hope I never have to rely on that section of the helmet. The only time I've ever broken the back of the helmet like this was 2004. I got hit by a car. It took the bike out from underneath me, and the whole back of the helmet crumpled away. Like, it crushed in and just fell off. And if it hadn't been for the helmet, I'd be dead right now.
4 to 6 weeks later.
All right, so it's been a few weeks since I did that initial unboxing of the new Manifest helmet, and holy cow, this thing is fantastic. I've ridden a bunch in it, both in hot weather, in cool weather in the mornings. This morning it was like 59 degrees when I was out getting a workout in before work, and I absolutely love it. Things that I wasn't expecting to really impact the experience, the visor on it. It keeps the sun off my face. Skin cancer runs in my family, so having that up front has been really something I wasn't expecting to enjoy. I don't notice it. I do see just a little bit of the edge of the visor in the top of my view out of the front of the helmet, but it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. I got used to it really fast, and that keeps the sun off of my face. Really helps a ton. Airflow is great. I really love all the padding that they put inside of this. You can see the padding is extensive and it's really, really comfortable. So I absolutely love this helmet. I'm so glad I bought it, and I definitely suggest if you're in the market for a new helmet, grab a Giro Manifest at your local bike shop and you'll thank me for it.
Several months later.
All right, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Unemployed Cyclist. This is part 2 of my Giro Manifest helmet review. I filmed the first part back in early September, and it is mid-December right now. So I've been riding with this helmet for about 3 months, and I have to say it is one of my favorite new pieces of gear that I've gotten this year. I like the weight. It's not super light like my road helmet, but it is very light. I love that I went with white. It's not as dingy as I expected it to be, and I love that it doesn't absorb heat like a darker helmet would, and it is very, very comfortable to have on my head. Now, there are a few things that I don't like about this, and first of all is the fit. And so it fits my head great, but for the longest time, what I felt was the front of the helmet actually pushing down on my sunglasses. So it was pushing my sunglasses down my nose. I'd constantly have to be doing this kind of work. What I realized is that when I put on the helmet, the back of the helmet wasn't getting down under the crown of my head properly. And so it was canted forward, and it wasn't sitting properly on my head, which is what was causing it to push down on my sunglasses. So every time that I put this helmet on now, before I use the retention system on the back that we viewed in the first part of the intro of the video, I now realize that I have to grab the helmet and physically push it down onto the crown of my head. That way the retention system gets down below that knot that's in the back of your skull back here, and it holds the helmet nice and secure on your head, and it no longer pushes down on my sunglasses. The other thing that I've noticed that I'm not the hugest fan of is how high volume this pad is here. Now, it's super comfortable. That's not the problem. The problem that I have is I'm very sweaty, which is gross to say, but I sweat a lot. And you probably saw if you watched the entirety of my Mount Lukens video that partway up, I had to stop the ride because every time I tried to do one of these, raise my eyebrows, to look around, whatever I was doing, I would get this cascade of sweat running down my face, and I couldn't figure it out. I finally figured out that this pad here was saturated. And so I stopped the video part way up that climb, maybe an hour and 20 minutes into an 80-minute climb, 80-degree climb. And I physically had to take my thumb and run it along here and press all that water out, kind of wring it out with my thumb. So once I figured that out, things got better, but still, that is something that I'm not the biggest fan of, is how much this pad here at the front of the helmet retains sweat. To end on a positive note, by far the best part about this helmet is something I discovered again in the intro of the video, and that is this clasp here. I adore this magnetic clasp. It makes it super simple to get it to lock in when you are wearing full finger gloves, which I also switched to back in August. I will do a review of those gloves sometime in the near future. But that clasp mechanism is so much easier to work with than the fiddly little clip one that the road bike helmets have, especially when you're wearing full finger gloves. It's not as light, which is probably why they don't use it on the road helmets, on their high-end road helmets, but that clasp is magic. It makes life so nice with the Giro Manifest. So it is pricey, but this is a well worth it investment if you are serious and you spend a lot of time in the saddle. It really helps keep you cool. It's super comfortable and it keeps your head safe. So until next time, have fun, be safe, get out there and ride.